Hi there. Today we'll be showing our final results on the gold standard period of development. I'm going to let the videos play for themselves and talk through any mechanics and details. To begin, this period was a stepping stone in the direction on working to improve the player experience, and one of those obvious changes is the inclusion of the first-person perspective, really putting you in the shoes of the Martian. Now with the method selected, a more refined layout to the text has been achieved. We previously had the text duplicated and overlapping when it was first added to the screen, which has since been fixed. You'll also notice that the compass bar now has improved markers to also help the player navigate the world much easier. With the market, we modified the layout to only sell 4 crafting items instead of the original 4 crafting and 2 key items. This is a great decision in our opinion, removing the ability to skip exploring the level for resources and taking away from the overall stealth genre of our game. As you saw there, we also focused on creating small collectible coins throughout the level for the player to find to help them purchase more items and other features throughout the gathering phase. With first person, the player can get real close to the patrons of Boblito's Cantina, as well as purchase drinks that can aid them in the escaping phase of the game. And finally, if the player feels like they have done as much as they want in the gathering phase, and want to get on with the escaping phase, they can return to their home to advance the game forward. During this period, the stealth and crafting elements of the game come into full effect. The player must always locate a resource of some kind to be able to escape, providing they don't get caught. In the escaping phase, the player is granted additional buffs as a result of purchasing stamina and invisibility boosts, which only last until the player returns back to the original number assigned to these stats. As seen here, a feature of the first-person perspective is the ability to see what the player is doing. In this instance, the indication is that the player is invisible. This also works for any item the player holds during the escaping phase. As seen here, I was unaware of the red cut around the corner, which I feel is a benefit of the first-person experience, adding this additional risk and a hint of fear throughout the playthrough. The Mechanics Workshop is a trove for some crafting resources, and a good place to stop and check up on what you still need to find throughout the escaping phase. We've also improved on the crafting UI, allowing the player to use scrap metal for any regular crafting item and not just iron gears. Finally, with the lockpick in hand, as indicated in the bottom right of the screen, we can finally begin the final stages of escaping. Additionally, we'd also like to show off the bribery method and another mechanic that we don't often show off because of how unpredictable it can be. Something less shown in the previous footage was the cantina sign, another aspect of the player experience we wanted to improve. The neon sign is an attempt at grabbing the attention of the player and also informing them what they can find at this location. Moving through this footage, allocate a majority of the collectible credits throughout this playthrough, leaving you enough credits for both booster drinks or one contraband box. This is a perfect example of giving the player the choice between two options rather than one linear path. Opting for the contraband boxes, you are given the option of key items or crafting items, which you will receive when you start the escaping phase. These are a very high risk item, which could potentially give you several of an item you don't even need. Moving to the escaping phase, the box now appears inside the player's home for them to pick up. Following the bribery method, our hopes is for a chunk of credits or even a lockpick. As seen in the left corner, we did receive 2 lots of credits and, as seen in the inventory, more than enough to help us escape. We can finally reach the red core at the spaceport and pay for safe passage out of Mars. Finally, to conclude this presentation, we'd like to show off the new trailer we've been working on.